దేశ రక్షణ దళాల్లో ఆధునీకరణ జరుగుతోందని 2047 నాటికి ఆత్మనిర్భర్ భారత్ లక్ష్యాలను చేరుకుంటామని భారత నౌకా దళ అధిపతి అడ్మిరల్ ఆర్ హరికుమార్ తెలిపారు. విశాఖపట్నం ఈస్టర్న్ నేవీ కమాండ్లో గురువారం నిర్వహించిన నేవల్ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ వేడుకలో భారత రాష్ట్రపతి తరపున నేవల్ స్టాఫ్ చీఫ్ అడ్మిరల్ ఆర్ హరికుమార్ నేవీలో ఉత్తమ సేవలందించిన పలువురికి అవార్డులను ప్రదానం చేశారు. ఈ సందర్భంగా ఆయన మీడియాతో మాట్లాడుతూ ప్రభుత్వం ప్రతిష్టాత్మకంగా రూపొందిన అగ్నిపథ్ పథకానికి విశేష స్పందన లభిస్తోందని తెలిపారు.
Solemn and important occasion for us because we honor and remember the deeds, the sacrifices, the hard work and the contribution of our personnel to the Navy, to the nation. Many of them have laid down their lives in the line of duty, and they have been recognized by the Government of India. And I have been I have used this occasion to present the awards on behalf of the Honorable President of India. We have the series of awards, gallantry awards, that is the Nausena Medal Gallantry, then Nausena Medal Devotion to Duty, as well as the Vishish Seva Medal, which have been awarded here. The Navy, as you are aware, is transforming, and in keeping with the changes happening in the country, where India is looking at becoming a fully developed nation by 2047. The Indian Navy is also looking at becoming a fully Atmanirbhar force by 2047. So we are shedding many of our old colonial traditions, colonial mindset, and we are looking at developing capabilities in India, made by India, made exclusively for the armed forces. So we are all part of this journey, and many of these award winners today present here have contributed in many measures, and I would say substantially, to transformative aspects of the Navy as well. You saw awards being given for innovation, for best green practices, for the best shore establishment, best unit at sea, for their performance, their conduct, etc. So this is, as I said, a recognition of all the efforts of the teamwork, of leadership displayed by each one of these people here, and it will serve to inspire the rest of them to continue working hard, and I've been insisting that all of us need to do our duty and do it well, as that is what is expected from every member of the.
During last 5 years, I think we have reduced imports to a good extent.
We are, as I said, 2047 is what the national leadership has indicated as the time by when India is expected to be a fully developed nation. So the Indian Navy has given a commitment that we will be a fully Atmanirbhar force by 2047. So we are working towards that. In that regard, I would say that about 62 to 65% of the expenditure, capital expenditure by the Navy has been in the domestic sector, domestic industry, for shipbuilding and all related activities. We are working towards increasing that to about 80%. So that is the so we hope by about 2035 or so we will reach the 80% mark, and then subsequently move on to increase it further. Perhaps you are aware of the of the IDEX scheme, IDEX Prime, Sprint. These are all initiatives which are have been promulgated by the Ministry of Defence. We have found very good response. Last year on July 18th, we had a seminar called the Swavalamban Seminar, which was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister, where 75 challenges for 75 types of technology or products was released. There was an overwhelming response from the MSMEs and startups. 1,106 proposals were made by various industry partners, and then these were studied, and more than 100 contracts have been signed. 2 products have already been developed, and they are already inducted into service. Another 10 products are nearing completion of the prototype, and we are hoping that by August or so, when we have the next Swavalamban seminar, we would have at least 75 technologies, products or prototypes ready for trials or induction into the service. So that is the type of thrust and effort that is going on in the Navy towards making it in India and making our own technology and using it. So 2nd of September by the Honorable Prime Minister, the commissioning was a big landmark. The first time we joined the group of 6 nations who have built aircraft carriers on their own, and our ability to integrate not just the basic flying, but the fighter flying, and that too with the indigenous aircraft, which is the LCA Navy, as well as the MiG-29K, that has been successful. The landing of the LCA was witnessed by the Honorable Defence Minister, and subsequent to that, we had the landing by the MiGs, by day landing, then qualification of various pilots, and now we have moved on to night landing by the MiGs. So the first phase of operationalization of the carrier with both helicopters and fighters is nearing completion. The ship is due for a guarantee refit, which of a short duration, where the guarantee liability of the shipyard will be completed, and thereafter the ship moves on to the full operationalization phase by November or so, and then she'll be fully available for combat exploitation. So that is the plan.
Schemes.
Agnipath scheme, in my opinion, is a very successful scheme. It is a scheme for the modern generation, I would say. So if you look at Agnipath, Agnipath, as a acronym, each letter has got great significance. A, I would say, is scheme for Azadi Ka Amrit Kal. That first A. Then G is a growth-oriented scheme. N for nation building. That is, you are giving them various qualifications, and after 4 years, some of them will join the industry and so on. And I for integration. That is, one of the integrating the armed forces with the civil society. So you will see that the aim is to have at least one member, either an Agniveer or a participant in the armed forces from every village. Today in the Navy we have representation from 656 districts, which is about 85% of the total districts. But that is not adequate. We need to have representation from every block first. Over 6,000 blocks are there, and then I think it should be from every village. This is the vision of the national leadership, and this is what we are working towards. So that is the integration part of it, AGNI. And then you talk of P8, TH, that P stands for, it's a patriotic scheme. That is, whoever wants to, be part of the armed forces, he gets a greater opportunity to contribute, because there are many people who don't want to serve the full lifetime. They want to serve for a short time. So it's a patriotic scheme. A, again, it stands for a Atmanirbhar scheme. It's a scheme for India. It is, many countries have got similar scheme, but this scheme is, purely for India, for Indians, for our people, made, as it will fit into our society and for our needs. So it's a, Atmanirbhar scheme. And T is a transformative scheme. It is going to transform the armed forces, क्योंकि हमारा जो एज प्रोफाइल है अभी, average age profile is about 32, 33. So with this scheme, the average age profile of the armed forces will come down to about 25, 26, which is what is required for a, fighting force. You need youth to be able to, fight and win the battles that you want. And last letter, the H, stands for, the human resource, transformation and harnessing. So we are able to harness the youth dividend of the country. So it is said that India will have a youthful profile of an average age of about 29 to 30 for the next at least 40-50 years. That is till 2070. We are supposed to have an average median age profile of about 29-30. So then why not harness that for the armed forces? So therefore, this is a great human resource harnessing that is happening by the scheme. So in that sense, this Agnipath is a very good scheme, very transformative scheme. The Navy was the first to have this scheme. Our first batch of Agnipaths passed out from INS Chilka, the training establishment, on 28th of March. We had about 2,585 of them who passed out that day, out of which 272 were women. And this is the first time we are inducting women in the Navy among the sailors, that is below the officer rank. And let me tell you that they are very good, exceptionally good, very committed, and we are confident that they will serve the Navy well. To engage with our friends in the region, you may be aware that of the policy called Sagar, which is the policy of the Government of India, which was enunciated by our Honorable Prime Minister, security and growth for all in the region. So it has been said that India does not want to grow alone. India wants to grow together with all the countries in the region. So therefore, as a Navy, we have taken that as a policy, and we are working with all the regional navies and supporting them. We help them in training, we help them in capacity building, in capability development, exercises, engagements. So the idea of all this is to have trust. Trust is very important. That you should have trust in your amongst your friends, because and trust takes a long time to build. It doesn't happen overnight. So we constantly engage with them, support them, help them. Sri Lanka, Maldives, Seychelles, Mauritius, Bangladesh, all the countries in the region. So we have got big exercises like Milan are very, very important for that. We had the Milan last in 2022. The next Milan is planned in the second week of February, third week of February, from 15th onwards, 2024 at Visakhapatnam. And we are also trying to have a small maritime defense exhibition also here. So we have been getting very good support from the state government in the conduct of all these events. The Navy has been, is very thankful for all the support that is received from the state government here. Recently, I visited the recently inaugurated Sea Harrier Museum, and let me tell you that Visakhapatnam is the city which has got three of these major museums of the Navy. There is no other city which has got museums like this. So we are very thankful to the state administration and the leadership